This year's presidential election brought voters out in droves, both on Election Day and for absentee voting in the weeks leading up to November 5th. Locally, 4 city council seats were on the ballot, with 2 of those being contested races. In the race for Ward 2, currently held by Carrie Raybrower, who ran for State House, Peter Butler came out on top with just over 59% of the vote. His challenger, Don Willardson, received nearly 40% of the vote. Butler says he looks forward to getting to work for the people of Ward 2.
The ward has a little over 4,000 doors, and we knocked about over 9,000, and 8,000 of those came from me. I had, my wife, some friends, some others, they knocked about another 1,000 or so to talk to folks. And it was just great because, we got a chance to talk to folks to hear what they thought was going well with the city, what they felt maybe the city needed changed.
Moving to the Ward 4 seat, currently held by Jennifer Geisler, who did not seek re-election. Her son Chris will take over that seat. Chris Geisler received nearly 56% of the vote. His challenger, Blake Miskowick, received nearly 43%. Geisler is no stranger to the city. He currently serves on the Planning Commission and looks forward to transitioning to the City Council.
I learned civics at the dinner table between not only from my mother, but even my great aunt who served on the Planning Commission for a long time too. So being involved and engaged in Coon Rapids and how it's growing and doing things has been something I literally grew up with. So I'm excited to be able to take it to the next level.
While there will be 2 new faces on the council next year, 2 familiar ones will be returning for another 4 years. Councilmember at Large Pat Carlson and Councilmember Ward 1 Brad Griskowiak both ran unopposed. The 2 men appeared on CTN Tuesday night during our election coverage.
With me, it's all about community, 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 And I like to use the expression sometimes, it's like a big town, like a small town. And it's through our different community events that we bring people together. Regardless of who you are, how long you lived here, where you came from, I want everyone to feel like they're a part of the city.
Well, it goes back to why I ran in the first place, and it's really civic duty. I wanted to be engaged, and I have time, and it's a good time in my life to help out and do these types of things. So that was the main reason why I ran. That's the main reason I continue to run. And I've gained some experience over the last 8 years on the City Council, and I think that that experience can help us move the city forward.
Turning now to the Anoka County Board races, 4 seats were on the ballot this year, including a special election in District 1 to replace Matt Look. Look resigned earlier this year to become the city administrator in East Bethel. Replacing Look on the Anoka County Board will be John Heinrich, who received 55% of the vote. His challenger, Betsy O'Berry, received about 44%. In District 5, which covers a portion of Coon Rapids, a very close race, incumbent Mike Gamache received just 49 votes more than his challenger, Randy Nelson. In District 6, incumbent Julie Jepson came out on top with 66% of the vote. Challenger Jeremy Schroeder received about a third of the vote. And in District 7, incumbent Mandy Meissner easily defeated challenger Tahir Harzala, about 75% to 25%. On the state level, members of the Minnesota House were all up for re-election this year. In Coon Rapids, 3 state rep seats were on the ballot. In District 35A, DFL incumbent Zach Stevenson retains his seat in the House, but it was a close race. Stevenson received nearly 52% of the vote. Republican challenger Josh Jungling received 48%. In District 35B, an even tighter race. DFLer Carrie Raybrower beat Republican challenger Steve Pape by just 280 votes. And in District 34B, DFLer Melissa Hortman will retain her seat. She beat Republican challenger Scott Simmons 63% to about 37%.